again. Nice to see you. I don't really remember, but I remember if you see my
I can't remember
brother.
if I interviewed him about his work. Do you remember interpreting for him about his work? Did I ever interview him about his work? Can't remember.
Nice to see you.
Do you mind chatting?
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
I want to stand in the shade.
Oh, in the shade. Oh, perfect.
I mean, I don't know yet.
So, yes, I want to. Do you mind if I interview you?
Yeah, no, so you wanted to spotlight.
Yes.
me,
Do you mind if I
and then
interview
you're
you?
gonna Hear my
What do
voice.
you interview me for?
About your work, about your artwork.
Okay, fine, sure.
Okay. You don't need her to be in interpret. You
Well,
can.
of course, he needs to interpret.
Oh, okay. So you don't. You don't want to be seen.
No, because you're interviewing Peter.
Ah. Oh, so you'll speak.
I'm signing for you.
Oh,
He's gonna
okay.
speak for himself.
Oh, you can speak. Okay.
Or he's gonna sign and I'll speak.
Ah. Okay.
I'm
Perfect.
interpreting.
See, I'm relearning all this. I knew all this before, now I'm relearning. Okay. All right. So your name.
It's Owusu Ansah.
Okay. So tell me about your work.
It's all related to my body. It's about learning about who I am. I feel like when we are placed into life, we are going on a journey. But for me, I'm deaf.
Right.
And the society is designed for people who hear. And so I'm always walking through life almost like alone. And since I don't feel like I'm a part of life, I'm thinking, how do I become a part of it? And so it's important for me to recognize who I am and how my body feels. So looking into my body, I'm saying the way I speak sometimes feels like a shape of robotic, like or squares.
Right.
It's not flowing like a water. So it feels like there is a straight line, and then there's some kind of crack, and then it goes back on it up like this, and then goes straight again. So there's a square kind of shape in it. I embrace my body, I embrace the way I speak, because that's what I'm giving.
Right.
And as far as I feel I'm not a part of, included in the world, I'm thinking, what can I do to be included?
Right.
And I look at everybody. It seems like we are all connected colors. And sometimes I see my favorite colors in somebody else. It can be artists. So, for example, even food. Sometimes somebody cook is my favorite food. So, what if I cook my own food? What it taste like? What would my favorite food be like? And so imagine making my own colors, like not paying in, not cooking what other person cook, just purely coming from me. What would it be like? Will I like it the same as I like from other artists? And so where I'm trying to make my own colors, I'm looking at what the word giving me, like what my body is absorbed to. And everything that my body is absorbed to is who I am. What my body is not absorbed to is not who I am. So I'm more accepting who I am by collecting every source that I can find, every source of colors that I can find in the universe, and play with it, combine with it, and then put it out there and let other people reflect themselves, and maybe they feel the same connection that I feel. This is method for communicating with people. And then, so Another way is that I'm facing the society. Sometimes I approach a person who here and trying to have a conversation. They say, no, I'm not talking to you because I'm deaf. So using my work to create joy possibility and let the joy possible fill in your head. You don't have to know who I am now, but maybe if you are curious in the later, you might question who the artist is. It's always going to be that artist. I think that's the best explanation I can give you right now.
And what response would you say you've gotten from people? Like, what?
Can you hold for a second?
Okay.
Ayuka.
So, what response would you say you've gotten from people?
What do people respond or what do I respond?
Like, how do they relate to what your message of your work is? Especially the way you just explained it to me.
Well, a lot of people mainly enjoy by seeing the work themselves. However, when I see someone who wants to buy my work and they ask me how much my work cost, I respond. But then they ask me what's behind the work. As soon as I bring out that, their attitude change. And perhaps they listen to my story a little bit and just start walking away. So that was what I get today. But I'm not upset about this. This is always my research. This is something I'm working toward, trying to make people, help people understand deafness. Because society make their own words for us. I think it's not the right way. We have to be present and just voice our own voice so people can understand. That's what I got.
Yeah, and it's almost like the way when black people or African people are telling our story, right, to people who are not African or not black. Sometimes they can also not understand, or they can get, uncomfortable or not connect to it, so then they similarly walk away, right? So it feels like it's an ongoing process of engaging and relating to the wider world, always, right?
Yes, that's double defensive. However, I'm mainly focused on my deafness side.
Right.
Because that's what's hit me so hard.
Right.
Even in my black community, I have many good black people who are willing to understand me. But there are so many of them who is not willing to properly understand me. So I'm trying to infer all that change. That's it.
And what do you think would help to shift that, to change that, to make more people relate and connect?
Well, I think they need to improve invitations and really trying to listen more properly, listen to the voice of deaf and disabled people.
Right.
Don't try to put yourself above and speak for them. You can't keep doing that. That's just not right. That's actually how you destroy people. So it's important to listen and actually learn from them.
Right. And my last question is, What about how you find other deaf people relate to your work? Or other disabled people, how they relate to your work?
Were obvious deals. So many of them were happy to see me, my present, because there's a lack of presentation about disabled and deaf can walk through all these art fairs. We have Tango Art and Disability up there, but we don't have independent artists present themselves right there. So it's hard. So they are happy to see my work being present right there.
Well, I'm happy to always run into you and to see your work and to always learn a lot. And hopefully even putting this video out will, you know, support and assist the conversation that needs to keep continuing, right? Until we have a world where, you know, you feel more seen and more present and connected.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. And how do people reach you? What's your social media, your Instagram?
Well, they can reach me on Instagram for sure.
Yeah? And is it just your name?
Peter O. Ox. So it's PETER OARTS.
Excellent. Well, thank you. As always. And always great work. And I'm going to go do some close-ups because the work is beautiful. It's behind you, and it was always behind you, so it's nice and a perfect composition. And I'll make sure I tag you so you can see this interview.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. And thank you, interpreter. All right. So this is the work. I had never heard him talk about that experience of squares before. Why squares?
Copy that.